We all do it. We lie to our parents, to our partners, to our friends, and sometimes even to ourselves. But what if most lies aren't intentional? What if many of the things we say, the stories we tell, the memories we share are not true, and we genuinely believe them? Psychologists say that on average, humans hear between 10 to 200 lies per day, depending on how you define a lie. But here's the shocking part. Most of those lies aren't malicious. They're psychological defense mechanisms, invisible threads woven into how our brains protect us from pain, guilt, and fear. So why do people lie without realizing it? To find the answer, we need to dive deep into how truth and memory actually work, and what happens when our brain quietly edits reality to help us survive. The lies we tell ourselves. Let's start close to home. The lies we tell ourselves. You've done it before. I'm fine. I could stop anytime. It's not my fault. She probably didn't mean it that way. These are small statements, but they carry enormous weight. Each one bends the truth just enough to keep us emotionally stable. The human mind doesn't always value truth, it values survival. And sometimes, truth threatens that survival. When faced with guilt, failure, or trauma, the brain can unconsciously alter perception to protect the ego. It's called cognitive dissonance, the discomfort of holding two conflicting beliefs. For example, if you see yourself as a good person but do something selfish, your brain might rewrite the story. I didn't mean it that way. They forced my hand. It's not a conscious lie, it's an emotional reflex. A built-in safety feature that helps us live with ourselves, the memory illusion. Memory feels like a video recording, something we can rewind and replay. But science shows it's more like a Wikipedia page. You can edit it, and so can other people. Every time we recall a memory, the brain reconstructs it. And each reconstruction can change tiny details. After enough retellings, those changes become the new truth. In one famous study, psychologist Elizabeth Loftus showed participants a video of a car crash. When asked how fast the cars were going when they hit each other, people gave lower estimates. But when asked how fast they were going when they smashed into each other, the estimates skyrocketed. And many later remembered shattered glass that never existed. That's the power of suggestion. A single word changed memory itself. So when someone insists on a story that isn't true, they might not be lying. They might just be recalling a memory that's been quietly rewritten by time, emotion, or language. The brain's reward system. Lying, even subconscious lying, feels good. Literally. When we lie and get away with it, our brain releases dopamine, the same chemical triggered by success or pleasure. Over time, that creates reinforcement. The more we deceive successfully, the more the brain learns to do it again. But here's the twist. We don't just lie for gain, we lie for comfort. We lie to keep relationships peaceful. We lie to fit into social groups. We lie to protect others from pain or to maintain our own self-image. The brain doesn't flag these lies as bad. It classifies them as useful. They preserve harmony and reduce conflict. So they blend into the fabric of normal behavior. In fact, neuroscientists have found that with each lie, activity in the amygdala, the brain's guilt center, decreases. The more we lie, the less bad it feels. Eventually, the mind adapts until deception becomes indistinguishable from truth. The social lies. Lying is a social skill. Children start learning it as early as age 3, once they realize other people can't read their minds. By adulthood, most of our lies are social lubrication, small distortions to keep the peace. I love your outfit. Sorry, I didn't see your message. No, it's fine. I'm not mad. These lies keep society functioning. If we were radically honest all the time, relationships would crumble under brutal truths. Evolutionary psychology suggests lying evolved as a tool of cooperation, not conflict. Groups that could deceive and detect deception survived better. lying, in a strange way, became part of being human. We evolved not to seek truth, but to maintain connection. So when people lie without realizing it, it's often because their brains are prioritizing belonging over honesty. The power of self-deception. Nowhere is unconscious lying more powerful than in self-deception. When we lie to ourselves and fully believe it. A gambler swears he's due for a win. A partner insists they'll change this time. A student tells themselves, I work best under pressure. These are self-protective illusions. They keep hope alive when reality threatens to break it. Evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers proposed that self-deception exists because it makes us better liars to others. If you believe your own lie, it's easier to convince someone else. No nervous tells, no guilt, no hesitation. That's why we lie without realizing it, because at some level, believing the lie helps us function. Truth is heavy, sometimes too heavy. The trauma response. For people who've experienced trauma, lying can become a form of psychological armor. A child who grows up in chaos learns to minimize, to hide, to say everything's fine, even when it isn't. An adult who's hurt learns to rewrite the story to make it survivable. He didn't mean it. It wasn't that bad. These aren't lies in the malicious sense. They're defensive rewrites. The brain's way of creating a narrative that doesn't shatter us. In therapy, when survivors begin to confront these distortions, they often describe it as waking up, realizing they've been living inside a story that protected them once, but now traps them. So when people lie without realizing it, sometimes it's not denial, it's survival. It's a scar written into the mind's language. The cultural factor, not all lies are created equal. Across cultures, the line between truth and politeness shifts. In Japan, it's common to say yes out of respect, even when the real answer is no. In Western cultures, white lies are considered harmless, even necessary. In collectivist societies, maintaining harmony often outweighs the importance of brutal honesty. In short, culture decides which lies are acceptable. We absorb these norms unconsciously, and they shape what feels true to us. That's why someone might swear they're being honest, even while distorting reality. Because in their cultural framework, that distortion is honesty. Truth, it turns out, isn't universal. It's contextual, the lie of identity. There's one more layer, the most powerful and invisible lie of all, the story we tell about who we are. I'm a good person. I'm in control. I know myself. But the self is not a fixed truth. It's a constantly evolving illusion, shaped by memory, emotion, and experience. Neuroscientists now believe that the self is a construction of the brain's default mode network, a narrative we build moment by moment to maintain continuity. When that narrative is threatened, the brain does whatever it must to preserve it, even if that means bending the truth. So the biggest lies we tell might not be verbal at all. They might be the quiet stories we live every day, the fictions that make us feel whole. Can we ever stop lying? If lying is hardwired into our survival, can we ever truly stop? Probably not entirely, but we can become aware of it. The first step is mindfulness, noticing when we're shaping a story to protect ourselves or others. The second is self-compassion, understanding that lying doesn't make us bad, it makes us human. And the third is courage, choosing truth even when it hurts. Honesty isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. When we catch ourselves lying, even to ourselves, we glimpse who we really are beneath the defense. That's where real integrity begins, the truth about lies. So why do people lie without realizing it? Because the human mind is a storyteller. It edits, rearranges, and rewrites the world not to deceive, but to make sense of it. We lie to survive, to connect, to protect, to believe. And sometimes to simply get through the day. The truth isn't always easy, but it's always waiting for those brave enough to look past their own reflection. And in the end, maybe the most honest thing we can say is this. We all lie, but not all lies are meant to hurt. Some are just the mind's way of keeping the heart alive. Have you ever caught yourself lying without realizing it? Maybe to avoid pain or to protect someone else? Share your story in the comments below. If this video opened your mind, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives into psychology, truth, and the mysteries of human behavior. Because here on the Mind Metrics, we don't just explore the world around us. We uncover the hidden worlds within. Stay curious, and stay honest, at least with yourself.